Just, only just.
Yeah, just substitute a little bit of observation. Oh, okay then. Okay. Welcome to the Cemetery Town Council Planning Committee this evening, Monday 12th of August. Item 1, apologies received.
Apologies from Councillor Morehouse. Unfortunately, he's been stuck in lots of traffic on the way here and he doesn't like to make it.
Councillor Paul Carter is likely to be either late or absent over this.
Item 2.
We've got 2 others last. No apologies from
No, not from the Councillor Stewart.
Council Mount's often late and he's not stuck in traffic as well. Yeah. Item 3, minutes of the planning committee to approve.
Sorry,
Item 2.
declare something that for one of the items, I live in proximity and I'm an occasional customer. I have no pecuniary interest though in 00759.
Okay,
Sorry, which one was it?
00759. Yeah.
G. Yeah.
Chair, may I just say something? Just to point out, just to mention a few times me using my phone in the meeting. I have no laptop, I have no iPad. We're waiting for the Chromebooks to come through. I did email Assistant Town Clerk, but it was too late by then to get a paper copy. So I'm using my phone for the agenda. So just to make that clear.
Do you want to share and then we can...
Yeah, can
Would
do.
you like mine?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item 2, declaration of interest. Receive any declaration of disclosure of pecuniary interest from members in respect of business being transacted or legitimate.
It isn't a pecuniary interest, but one of the applications is a neighbour a couple of doors away from me, but I have no interest in terms of the property or the circumstances, so I will comment on the application itself.
Item 3, minutes of the planning committee. To approve the minutes of the planning committee held on Monday the 15th of July 2024 and to consider any matters arising from those minutes not covered by the agenda.
Couple of items. So last meeting, P07245, item G, regarding application 24/00608. We deferred it at that meeting to come back to this meeting with further information, so it's not here, but so maybe an update.
Yes, I have requested further information. The case officer is actually on leave, and I have been advised that you are best as a committee to make your comments with all your concerns this evening, and then when she returns from leave, which I think is today or tomorrow, she will then respond to your concerns.
Okay. 24/00656 and 24/00097. We raised strong objections against both of those applications. I checked yesterday on the DDC portal and our objections are not yet holding. So I just wanted to make sure that they've been submitted because it is a time lapse of nearly a month. So I'm just worried that our objections have not been registered. Possibly
as far
at
as I
their
was
end.
concerned, I have registered all of the comments from the last meeting, but I will check that.
Check on both
Yeah.
of those, that'd be good. Thank you.
Sorry, Kate, sorry, which was this?
So there's 24/00656
Yeah.
and 24/00097.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Item P072412, which was the update from Councillor Morehouse. I believe we did, at the end of his update, request that we write to DDC and ask for a planning officer or an enforcement officer to come to a future meeting to talk about their general approach on enforcement because of the fact there were so many outstanding issues in the town.
Yeah.
If we could make sure that that goes into the action log.
Yeah, I'll query that.
Sorry, because Councillor Miles raised it here rather than raise it later. Just to expand on that, we have a number of objections that we always make, for example, solar panels, for example, flat roofs. When I look at those applications that we object to at DDC level, they get approved. So I think there's a disconnect here, and I think it should feed into that conversation about how we're joining up with DDC in terms of what we see as important, that they universally approve.
Yeah, I did ask Chloe earlier on about offers that come to actually address this committee, but
Yeah.
I suppose it's like August, it's a funny time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holiday times.
I'm sure there'll be good reasons, it's just to understand from their perspective.
Yeah.
So just before we move on, as a member I'm taking back the, do you want to discuss this to bring your concerns before we move on to the next?
Well, that plan application.
Yeah, because we need to submit any of your concerns and questions,
But they're no interest, well, you know, we're living in houses, Discovery Park,
and we all, is
and the orchids, concerned about the orchids, there's orchids. Orchids, yeah.
I suppose it gives me an opportunity, and Councillor Wiles might come in on this as well as others might, but I was going to raise this later, but probably the right point. Discovery Park and the dwellings development there, what's tending to happen at the moment is that we're getting piecemeal applications coming through, and we're focusing just on the minutiae. And what I personally find is I haven't got a clear understanding of the strategy around this development. 2014, it was given outline planning permission. We're now 2024. Normally, through my checking, it would have up to 5 years to come to fruition. There'll be reasons why that might not have happened. But I've lost sight in terms of what the development is really about, but we're taking individual small bits and we're having to discuss them.
I think the original plan was the access, you go along to the Solar Lake, turn left up Monk's Way, the access to that side was all the way up to the roundabout by the Shell garage, come back and access only from the left. And then it's come out, and then went there. But now they want to do a crossover in the middle, don't they? Because before they didn't put a lot of pedestrian access. And I'm totally against that pedestrian access on that bend, and you come around there at 40 mile an hour and it's still too fast. I think that, so I'm against it on the additional, the sight lines, because I think it's, I should hate it for mum with children, and the children daughters, or someone comes around even at 40 mile an hour, I don't think they'd be able to stop in time. So I'm totally against, I think it should be a subway or pedestrian access over the top, because I don't think they really thought it out originally, because it was just up and back, so there was no pedestrian access or cycleways thought of. I don't think the original application.
Yes, thank you. I just want to underline the point made by Councillor Strucker that there is a limited time span for applications to be implemented, and that we should ensure that these are adhered to. It harms the efficiency of the whole process if there is a very long lapse between the application and the detail.
I think there's some research on the site because a lot of soil structure and everything.
Sorry?
I think they've been doing things there, like research a lot of the soil structure, because they most probably have to do piling or something because it's very soft soil. So I think the planning, they've been doing bits and pieces. Because I think most of this really was to allow lorry access, wasn't to start with allow construction access. That's what they're worried about. So then we get a bit, don't we?
May I ask, and then echoing what Councillor Chuka has said and what Councillor Kempton said, if this is so far back, many of us will not have an idea of what the whole range it covers. Is it possible to get an update on the whole plan? I don't know who that would be. Presumably that's in DDC, and also the reasons why this is being brought forward 10 years after it was there. So I see Councillor Fenton is shaking his head, but we need to get the information from DDC as to what's going on. If
It was requested, and like I said, the case officer is actually on annual leave. So like I say, they were asking today if we can provide the comments, and then she will respond when she's returned.
but this request that I'm making, I think, is echoing what colleagues is we should see the overall plan and why it is still valid as opposed to what many people thought had lapsed. And that's really the question, not the individual details here. Is there an overall plan? And if so, what is it? Otherwise, we continue to be piecemeal.
There is an overall plan. It was like when we originally did the proposal of 200 hours.
Yeah.
So it was an overall plan. It's just that I don't know what it's been. I suppose they're just working with it, getting the funding
So
together.
this is an amendment to that overall plan that was,
Yeah, it's an amendment to the overall plan about the entrance of the roadway.
No, it isn't just the road. I know it's the whole housing development and so on.
Yeah. So that's what's been passed.
but this.
Well, I know it's been passed, and it'd be useful for us to know exactly, because if we're being asked to look at things piecemeal, it'd be useful to see the whole picture. I appreciate if you've been on the council for a long time, you'll have a much better idea of us. Relative newbies haven't got a clue.
Yeah, well, 21/00047 original application. So 21, so it's only 3 years ago, the last one, been in.
Yeah, I think the issue with this, I appreciate this is an outline application and what we're looking at is reserved matters. But the outline application goes back 10 years, almost 10 years. So I doubt many people in Sandwich are aware that 500 homes are planned on this site. I certainly wasn't aware of it. I doubt many others. It didn't appear, you know, in terms of strategic planning, I would like to know the justification for the strategy of building 500 homes on that site, which is roughly a kilometre from the centre of town. It has very poor pedestrian and cycling access into the town. Car access is difficult because of the toll bridge. 500 homes means at least 500 cars. The master plan is very unclear in terms of cycling and pedestrian and infrastructure. I just think we need someone to come along here and explain the justification, because it didn't appear in the local plan, which is meant to be the strategic growth document. And it's suddenly, here we are being asked to comment on reserved matters, which normally should be dealt with within 5 years. And we're nearly 10 years on.
I think that was outline planning commission 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I say the actual last planning commission was 21/00047.
But the world was a very different place 10 years ago. You know, that one of the things in the outline application is for changes of use classes. All the use classes have changed since then. So that we're in a different environment now.
Yeah. And just my concerns are more from the fact that we're here to represent the residents of the town. The impact of the development will impact traffic, will impact the town's infrastructure, will impact education, all those things. I'd like to be informed in terms of how that we can feed in our concerns, if we have them, to the whole process. And at the moment, it doesn't seem to be connected.
I think also the thing to consider is, because it's a development site, the whole site, Discovery Park, there's now companies moving in, so the idea very probably is there's going to be a shortage of housing for people who want to come and work there.
May well be.
Yeah, so, okay.
I've been doing some research this week on Discovery Park, and there's a huge amount of information online. Since 2014, there have been 43 applications, these sections of the development and details. The big one was in January 2014. That contains 95 documents, one of which has 126 pages. A maximum of 500 dwellings was specified from the outset. And notice granting outline consent for the overall plan was issued on September 1st, 2015, and that ran to 29 pages. Now, the report to the District Planning Committee in October 2014, when the decision was taken, included a submission from Sandwich Town Council which read, the application was considered by Sandwich Town Council in February 2014, and this outline of the proposals was strongly recommended for approval. The Council will consider specific details when further applications are made to try and ensure there is a symbiotic relationship between the town and Discovery Park. The Council strongly supports the development of brownfield sites over the use of greenfield sites. Now, in March this year, this committee passed a resolution declaring that they felt the development that was before them was an overdevelopment and criticising the lack of open spaces. Well, the application was in respect of the 4 zones out of 27 zones, and alongside zones 15, 16, 17 and 18 there is in fact sports fields open and provision for open spaces. So I think there's a need, because the makeup of the committee is very different now from what it was originally proposed, I think it would be beneficial for our future discussions on the subject to have a briefing from the district planning officer.
That's what we've asked for.
Yeah.
We have asked for that.
Yeah, and I think then we'll be in a stronger position to make some comments on the details.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll make contact
Yeah,
again
make
now, and I
yeah.
know that the case officer is returned from annual leave.
I was just going to put it, are we coming to the item in the business? Because I'm a bit confused as to what we're being asked to do. There was confusion at the last time this was discussed in March, and as you said, I'm a bit confused as to what we are being asked to agree or disagree with. And I've got certain views which I made clear at the subsequent meeting. But what are we actually looking at? If it's coming in the
I think we
agenda,
might want to defer it again, don't we?
Yeah.
I think we can defer it again.
Yeah.
Till we get this more information from the planning officer.
but whatever, whichever.
But I sort of jumped ahead a bit there.
Yeah.
We will defer it again to get more information. Is that right?
We've already
Yeah,
dealt.
we took a decision at the last meeting to defer it to get more information.
Yeah.
We're now being told you need to give more information to,
Yeah.
it's been spun on its
Yeah.
head, so I think our position stays the same.
So,
Yeah, we've got time.
Yeah.
Okay.
so now we're
Did we approve the minutes of the planning committee?
You haven't voted yet.
No.
No,
haven't
We haven't
voted.
voted. Is it favour of the?
I'm happy to second it.
Okay.
No, I'm just looking at it.
I'm abstaining, so I wasn't here.
Who's proposing?
I think that was you proposing.
Yeah.
Yep, so I just.
Item 4, public participation. A 20-minute session is set aside for members of the public to make representations at the meeting in respect to the business on the agenda. Individual representation should not exceed 5 minutes. Written notice of the desire to exercise the right to speak, together with a topic to be addressed, must be given to the town clerk by noon prior to the day of the meeting.
We've not had any requests.
Okay. Item 5, planning application. Application plans and papers can be viewed by the Dover District Council website. A. Planning application reference 24/00471. Proposal, erection of a sauna / steam room and garden room, excavation of ground for plunge pool with associated hard and soft landscaping mode, removal or relocation of one small hawthorn tree, T11, location Whitefriars, 34 Newstreet Sandwich, CT39 AD.
This is 24/00471, is that right?
Yes.
We commented on this at the last meeting, we objected, so it's been repeated.
Yeah.
And our comments are holding, I believe, on
Oh, I
water.
do apologise, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
6th of June.
Item B, planning application reference number 24/00728, proposed installation of internal pedestrian and vehicle entrance gates retrospective, location Salicote, Knight Rider Street, Sandwich, CT39EW.
Yeah. So the salutation is a grade 1 listed building.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm not happy with retrospective applications. You would have expected the owner of the property to know that any changes at all to the property would require planning. But having said that, I've had a look at them. They're fairly inoffensive. They're in keeping generally, so I would support the application.
What he said.
I think the problem is, when it's been a hotel and with things, people just wandered in. No, they do look unobtrusive, and affect the visitor.
It's a sensible solution, however, obviously, they should have realised now. To question whether they did or didn't, but it's retrospective, and I think it's one of the things, yeah.
Can we comment on this matter of the retrospective application. I can't see any reason why not.
Make any comment on that?
Yeah.
There is a reference in the application to a visit to a house by the historic buildings officer, who rather left it to the owners
Yes.
to decide whether or not they were going to apply.
Yeah.
So they weren't ignoring the situation entirely.
It's a grey area, isn't it? Yeah. And also, if you imagine a big gate shut, you have to start parking the road and struggle with the gates open. It's a lot safer to drive. So, got a post and a seconder. All in favour, this? Item C, planning application, reference number 24/00748, proposal change of use of dwelling, use class C3 to a special education needs facility, use class F1A, location is Scarnet, Ramsgate Road, Sandwich, Kent, CT 39. This is the old caretaker place at the old sports section, so it was very good to me. Do you oppose that? Oh, oppose it? The second we can. Yeah, all in favour? Okay.
So sorry, Councillor Moore has to propose that one?
Yes.
Yeah. And who second?
D, planning application reference number 24/01351, proposal reserve matter application, pursuant to outline planning application 14/00058, the direction of 100, or we just said that, yes, we covered that one, you're happy, we can defer that one again. E, planning application reference number 24/00772, proposal erection of stable blocks, associated alteration to hardstand, access ways and landscaping, existing building and stable block to be demolished. Location Great Holders Equestrian Centre, Great Holders, Holders Road, Sound, Kent, CT 39. Well, I think this looks very nice with those old tractor sheds and they just put things like that. So, can I play that to us?
Yeah, I walk past this quite often, and it's what's being proposed looks like a big improvement.
Yeah. You were saying council, don't you? All in favour that we support? F, planning application, reference number 24/00773, proposal replacement driveway incorporating existing granite set, location guest room mill court, Strand Street, Sandwich, CT 39HN. Well, we know that it's terrible at the moment,
It is terrible, and it does flood.
It does
This
flood.
is a local neighbour to me, and it does flood.
You proposed to council, so
Happy for somebody else to propose it.
that's fine, that's more than propose it. Okay, do a second count. All in favour of this? Okay. Planning application, reference number 24/00759. Proposed demolition of existing farm shop building and erection of replacement garden centre canopy, change of use, conversion and extension of existing agricultural building to farm shop stroke cafe, new kitchen and toilet area, demolition of existing stables and erection of replacement stables, location Delph Nursery, Gill Road, Sandwich. That's what.
I would welcome this application. I think it's a sensible development of an important business in the town.
That's the old buildings at the moment, isn't it?
That's it.
You just said that.
I've got a couple of points to make about this application.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's something that's very valuable. I mean, at the moment, the way it looks at the moment, it does need improving. There's no question about it. My concern is that they're going to move the stable block, but there's no indication as to how that stable block is going to be shielded from the road in terms of visual appeal, what colour it's going to be or anything like that. So basically you're moving a block further back to make it more visible. The other bits I'm absolutely no concern about because they're talking about colours and stuff like that. So are we able to make any points about that we want the stable block to be not particularly visible? And there's two things that rather surprise me. It says that one document says the drainage question mark, the other one says it goes with the sewage. Now if it's garden centre, you're going to be using an awful lot of water. So what is the situation with that? It's unclear. The two documents are in conflict. And the final part is, there's nothing about the access road to that, and that is in a pretty bad state. I'm surprised that there's no application to upgrade that, but it may not be this business's property.
Yeah, I was going to make that point. It's a shared access road. The telephone exchange is there, and I think a couple of other. But if the amount of business increases, then that road is not really suitable for the use. Maybe we should say something about that being upgraded.
Yeah, the access road is also shared by those houses, isn't it, to the area access.
Yeah.
So the only bit that would be that part, well, none of it's there, isn't it, because it's just, unless BT contribute, the people of the houses contribute, I don't think that.
It's a campsite as well.
Campsite, yeah.
Mm.
So, sorry, are you making an additional?
My proposal would be that we fully support this. It's an important local business, but the access road should be upgraded at the same time.
And the question about stable rock visibility.
Is that an agreement from members?
Sorry?
I said, I think it's on the plans where it's situated.
Yeah, but there's nothing about, is it going to be sort of painted bright orange, green, purple, or whatever? The rest of it, they're very clear. They're saying we're going to use the same neutral colours, which is great, absolutely great.
I think that's a matter for the planning officer.
Yeah, I think we'll vote for this, aren't we? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Item 6, withdrawn planning application. To receive and note the withdrawal of planning applications. A planning application reference number 24/00437. Proposed erection of boundary wall with brick piers and rail graded park retrospective. Location 27 Postman Road. That's good that they've actually started doing bricklaying on that. So I can't understand what's happening there.
Contacted the planning enforcement, I've heard nothing back.
Yeah, because I know the neighbours have been contacted,
Mm.
yeah. And the actual bricklayer said he didn't need planning permission. So it's up to the planning officer to sort that out, isn't it? Okay. 7 planning decisions. You're happy with the planning, you don't want to read all that, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it goes on. Item 8, street furniture application. To receive and consider any application made to DDC in relation to a street furniture consent application with the local government miscellaneous commission about 1982. Please note and consider the television.
I just wanted to add that I did look into, I'm not sure if this comes under licensing or street furniture, but the tables and chairs and the brewing has been invoiced and the invoice has been paid. That's my update for, so I have spoken to the town clerk and she says it's been agreed and paid for brewing. Did you need any more information or is that in your opinion?
Item 9, licensing. To consider any licensing notices and issues received from the District Council, please note, none to consider at this time of issue in the agenda. 10, enforcement. To consider any enforcement notices and issues received from Dover District Council, please note, none to consider at the time of issue in this agenda.
Oh, actually, that's a, sorry, that's a typo, because actually, if you have a look, there is actually one there. That first sentence should be deleted.
Correspondence received and considered correspondence related to planning matters, including notification, appeals of it, refusal of planning applications, site address, land next to 95 St George's Road, Sam, CT 13, 9LE, appeal reference, ABP Street, 2220/W/244/3345064, appeal start 15th December 2024, proposal, erection of detached dwelling, new vehicle access, associated parking, landscape. This is the repeating negative planning decision.
I should refrain from participating in the debate on this because I spoke in support of the objection.
Yeah.
back in April.
So I think we turn it down.
Would you like me to leave the room?
Yeah, I think we turn it down. Before.
It's an appeal against the
Yeah,
future.
yeah. I think we should stand with what we said before, isn't it?
So what have we been asked to do?
I think it's just to,
No.
to note.
To know.
Yeah, and so you're, if you want to comment any further, then you can do, otherwise your previous concerns will be noted. Yeah.
We can comment individually as
Yeah,
council
And the link is in.
and attend the hearing.
Item 12, verbal update by district councils on matters related to planning.
Nothing on 57 New Street at the moment. Expect something by the end of next month. The only other matters are concerning the Montague Place development, where we've got the issue with the trees, which is ongoing, the issue with the land dispute, which again is ongoing under investigation, and
The street name.
the street names, which is still ongoing.
Dyslexic vote.
Yeah.
Item 13, date of next planning committee meeting, 16th of September 2024. Finalists.